Welcome to our show today. How are you doing? This is the voice of Coach Faith. I want to celebrate you, friends. Today is your first time stopping by on my channel. This is the Coach Faith Markets channel. Welcome on board. Today we're going to be discussing the unstoppable mindset. Come on now. I'd like you to type it in the comment section. The unstoppable mindset. Yes, of course, when it comes to work, when it comes to results, when it comes to all that we do in life, there is a mindset that is required for execution. There's a mindset that is required for you to move from where you are to the next level. And of course, this mindset is a framework. It is a framework. I like you to type that in the comment section. It is your framework. All right. If today is the first time stopping by my channel, welcome aboard. Yeah. I see I'm Dora. You're welcome to class. How you doing, ma'am? Okay, so there's such a mindset that is unstoppable, friends. It is truly, truly unstoppable. Like nothing can stop such a person. Do you really know? Do you really understand that it takes a solid mindset for you to be able to get results? All right. It takes a kind of mindset for you to be able to get results in your life, for you to be able to execute, become a better individual, and be able to do the needful. Yes. And you begin to imagine, why is it that, all right, why is it that there are times somebody is trying, two persons are trying to do the same thing at the same time, all right? One is pulling through, the other one is stopping halfway, is scoring, is not able to continue to do what is needful. It is usually as a result of the fact that the mindset that is required for such commitment, for such level of work, has not been made available. All right? Tell me where you're joining me from this evening. Where are you joining from, guys? I'm joining this call from the city of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Where are you? Where are you? Tell me in the comments. Let me get to meet you. Tell me where you're joining from and your name as well. I like us to make this very interactive. Okay, like I was saying already, that there is a mindset that is required for work. A lot of times, two persons have access to the same opportunity, okay, to the same opportunity, but they are not able, all right, to get similar results. They have access to the same environment, they have access to the same everything, but they are not able to get similar results. Why is it like that? Why are they not able to get similar results? Why are they not able to come up with a lot at the end of the day? There is a lot that is involved in that. It is usually as a result of the fact that they do not have the same mindset. I think there's a delay sort of, because it's not clear from my end. I don't know if it is clear from your end. Um, Let me see if I can change my service provider. Hopefully with that it will be better. Okay, if you can hear me and see me, tell me in the comments that you can hear me and see me. Tell me in the comment section before we get right into the class. I was trying to confirm from this end to see if you can actually see me clearly. Or we could just put off the mic to the camera and go straight into the class, because it is not clear from this end. Please tell me in the comments if you can hear me. Tell me in the comment section if you can hear me and see me. I'm not even seeing your comments. It's not coming so fast. It's not coming so fast. So if today is your first time stopping by, friends, do well to subscribe to my channel. Do well to subscribe to my channel, okay, so that you can keep getting updates on personal transformation, intentional reading, growth, execution, and impact. That's what we are up for. That is what we are up for. I'm not seeing your comment, guys. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm not seeing your comments. Okay, I see Babalola Elizabeth. Be better. Okay, I have done that. Okay, I can see Elizabeth, and I think MTN is better. Okay, how you doing? Welcome to class. Welcome to class. Welcome to class. I hope it will be better now. Okay, so let's continue with the conversation. I think it's Clara from MTN. It's Clara, yeah. Let's see. It is Clara. Jemima, how you doing? Welcome to class. I'm looking at my device from this end to see those that are here. Okay. Okay, it's Clara with this MTN. I think we're just going to go with this. We're just going to go with MTN. So if it is not clear at your end, you just go to quality, advanced, and then you click on what you want to see. You can increase it to 480 or 360. I think it will be clearer at that level. Okay. So let's get right into the gist. We're talking about the unstoppable mindset. I'd like you to type that in the comment. The unstoppable mindset. That is the conversation for tonight. How do you leverage your mental power to be able to achieve your goals? Yes, this is to also say that you can leverage your physical power, you can leverage your spiritual power. That's like the different dimensions of man. You can leverage social power, right? You can leverage what other type of power? Relational power. Okay, you can leverage all of these different compartments for results. All right, you can leverage all of them for what result. When we talk about our mental power, it is necessary because a lot of times one of the portion or the segment of our soulish realm through which we are able to interact and also experience life situation is as a result of the fact that we have a mindset. Okay, all right, and in this mindset of a thing, it is a framework. It's just like the setting of the mind. If you break that down, that's more like the setting of your mind, setting of your mind, right? So it means that it is a framework, it's a meta model. There is a pattern, right, to this. There is a pattern to this, which is to say that if as an individual you do not understand how to navigate your life, it is going to be a huge challenge. All right, it's going to be a huge challenge. A lot of people have missed that in life big time because they had the mindset that was not ready for work, that was not ready for execution. So you see that this thing is deliberate. It is really deliberate. All right. How many of you know the story of Pastor Daniel in the Bible? If you've read the book of Daniel, if you've not, for those of you that are not Christians, but I'm just going to use a story to illustrate something to us this evening. All right, we could see that Daniel, as a Jew, was as an Hebrew young man, because the country was being held in captivity. You know, some of these great men were selected by the Babylonian kingdom, by the Babylonian King Nebuchadnezzar at that time, right? To they were held captive, and of course there was an instruction that was given that the best of minds, right, the best of minds has to be transported from the Hebrew kingdom to the Babylonian kingdom. They were transported, they were translated from this end to this end. And it was a huge challenge. In fact, while I was interacting with that portion of the Bible, I just came to understand that we still have that same challenge today, where our best minds are being transported to other places, maybe because of life issues, life challenges, looking for a better place, looking for a better relationship, looking for a better environment and a better everything. Okay, sometimes the captivity that they are held by is also embedded in their system, embedded in the social structure, is embedded in this, the societal makeup and a whole lot of things. So for these people, they were held captive against their will because of the situation at that time. Of course, these best brains were meant to understand that there were four major people: Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These were the four Hebrew guys that really stood out amongst every other person. Now, there was something that stood out, that made these guys to stand out. There were a lot of things that made them to stand out, but one major thing that we can attest to is in the book of Daniel, chapter 1, verse 17. If you have it, you can place it in the comment section. Daniel chapter 1, verse 17. Of course, when they got to this strange land, they started teaching them, they started trying to, bring them into their system. All right, even their food, a whole lot of things were given to them to ensure that they become just like them. All right, the word of God says that the king instructed that they should be fed with the kind of food that is being given so they can look good. In fact, for 3 years, they were to be nurtured before they could even stand before the king. Wow, that was so fascinating. Before they would stand before the king, they would have to be nurtured forward for 3 whole years, meaning that in those number of years, they'll be eating from the king's table, they'll be drinking the king's wine, and a whole lot of things they will just have access to, just so they can look good, just so they can look beautiful, all right, to prepare for the king. I was just wondering my own life. I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. How many of us today would want to have somebody, maybe a staff, that want to work with us and we will be ready to train them with all that we have got for 3 good years? Okay, we'll be willing to mentor them with all that we have got in 3 good years before we finally say, all right, now you are fit to work with us. Now you are fit to present yourself. Now you are fit to understand what we are doing in this environment, in this home. You see, that was it for them. And of course, during those experiences that they went through, these guys decided that they would never eat from the king's meal. They will not defy themselves. They will not drink the king's wine. That's just by the side, guys. But the main emphasis here is that the word of God says in Daniel 1:17, thank you, Jemima, that as for these four children, some translation says young men, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. This has a lot to say to me personally, but I'm going to relate it to you. Okay, from this end to say that when it comes to the kind of mindset that is required for you to be able to build, for you to be able to move from where you are to the next level, I want you to have an understanding that your foundation matters, right? And this foundation, whenever we talk about foundation, we're not talking about something that you have built just in one day, all right? Or something you've built in a year or in 5 years. No, we're talking about where you are coming from. The reason a lot of times people have a mindset that is stoppable is because of where they are coming from, it's because of their foundation. And many a times you cannot even help them. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you try to push them, they are here today, tomorrow they are at another end, they are not stable, they're just haphazard. You're like, what is your problem? Why are you not stable? Why are you not learning? Why are you not growing? They are always learning but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. Now, look at the life of Daniel and those other three Hebrew men, young men, right? The word of God says that God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom. Of course, like I said, they were not only exposed to the food of the Babylonians, they were not only exposed to the wine of the Babylonians. Can you imagine? Just so they can look good, look beautiful. They were not only exposed to the weather, like some of our brothers and sisters that will jackpot. Then after 3 months, you see them on Facebook, they are looking all beautiful. They were not only exposed to the weather, that's always a trap. They were not only exposed to all of those things, but they were also exposed to their literatures. If you read the proud verses to that place, It says they were exposed to their literatures. And of course, they read those literatures. Now, what gave them the understanding and knowledge? All right, what gave them the understanding and the knowledge was as a result of their what foundation, where they were coming from. They had a nurturing, right? They had a nurturing. And of course, when it comes to your ability to gain knowledge and expertise in an area of life, it is not going to be based on just the information that you have been able to gather, right? Of course, we can read the same book. I can read the same book that you would also read, but at the end of the day, we may come out differently. Okay, we may come out differently, and that is why foundation matters. So for these guys, obviously they read the same literature that these other guys were reading, but they had a superior knowledge, they had a superior skill set because of where they were coming from, because of their foundation, because of what they've been taught. Their foundation was the word of God, right? They had that solid foundation, they had God in them. That was their foundation, right? And they were also able to build on it. So the question to you, friends, is what is your foundation today? What is your foundation? Where are you coming from? And I also see this foundation as the process that they've been able to go through over the years, right? As a process that they have been able to go through over the years. So the question to you, friends, is what is your foundation today? What is your foundation today? I'm not seeing comments. Are you guys still here? Can you still hear me? So they had a foundation, which was the word of God, and for the fact that they have also stayed true to their discipline. Do you see that? And the fact that they have also stayed true to their what? Discipline. I like you to write that down. Their discipline. All right? They have also stayed true to their what? Discipline. They had God, which was character. That was a point of character building. They had character. They didn't just go there and they threw caution to the wind and we are like, oh, let's just keep living our lives. No, that was not it for them. They were not going to keep living their lives. I think there is this thing is not really clear. Okay, maybe you just have to listen to my voice, please. I hope you can hear me. Hopefully, along the line, if network gets better, I would put on my camera again so you can see my beautiful face because I don't like the way my face is displaying there. Okay, so I like you to type them in the comments. Leaders, type them in the comment. They had God. They had God was a major definer of their character traits, right? And they had discipline. They had what? Discipline. Are you there? I can't see comments, so it's really a challenge because I can't see comments. So they had God, all right? That was a foundation for them. If you can hear me, type God in the comments. They had character. Okay, these guys had character, so their lives was different. I'd like you to go read that portion of the Bible after now. They had character. All right. Okay, Jemima is there. Okay, who else is there? All right. Yeah, I can see your comment now. They stayed put to their discipline. Right. Let me see if I can hear myself from here. Who else is there? All right. Yeah, I can see your comment now. Okay, I think I can see you now. They had God. They had what? Character. I like you to type character in the comments. They had character. We're going somewhere. They had character. They had what? They had character. Now you can see that display in them refusing to eat from the king's meal. They decided to discipline themselves. They told themselves they were going to what? Eat vegetables, right? They were going to eat vegetables. They drank water. They refused to take wine. They refused to take the king's food. That was God. That was a God factor in them. They were ready to stick to where they were coming from, right? They had that character. They had God. They had what's it called now? What did I call the other one? They had discipline. They were disciplined. All right. So you are going to write these qualities down at the end of the day. All right. These are going to be the things that will make up the mindset that is unstoppable. All right. They had character. They had God. They had discipline. They had the next thing they had was what? They had convictions. They had what? Convictions. They were convinced of the fact that they were coming from somewhere. All right. So what they were going to eat and drink was going to be that thing that was connected to their foundation. They were not going to be eating food that were being sacrificed to idols. They were not going to be carried away by shiny object syndrome, right? They had that level of conviction to say, this is our belief system, this is where we're coming from. This thing will work for us. If we eat vegetables and we stick to it, just give us 10 days. It is going to work for. That was their conviction, right? Now, how will that also relate to the unstoppable mindset? The truth is, there are times that you see a lot happening on the internet, you see a lot happening on social media, and you are quick to want to change your confession, to want to change your conviction, right? To want to change your conviction because you believe that what is happening in the other person's life should be happening in your own life. All right. The experience that the other person is having should be your same experience. So your conviction is necessary for you to develop your stoppable mindset, right? They had what? Conviction. The next thing is that they had competence. They had competence. They grew their expertise so well. They grew in their conviction, in their character, in their courage. They grew in it. And they were able to what? Build a level of competence. This could also be illustrated in their lives when we saw that these guys were able to interpret dreams. Daniel specifically, all right, he was able to interpret the dream of the king. And now when you read chapter 2, it is so fascinating to say that the king had a dream, Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and then he called all the wise men. He called them up to say, come, the Chaldeans, the sorcerers, the this and the that, come on board. The fortune tellers, come and tell me my dream. Now that place says the funniest part of it was that he actually decided not to tell them his dream, and he told them, I will not tell you this dream. I need you to tell me the dream and also tell me the interpretation, because it is possible that if I tell you the dream, you are going to give me fake interpretation. Okay? You're going to give me this sort of interpretation that will not align. All right? That will not align, to just be based on your own mathematics. I want something real. I want something genuine. Okay, that is you can find that in Daniel chapter 2, 8, from verse 8, I think verse 9 specifically. It says, if you do not make known the dream to me, there's only one decree for you. For you have agreed to speak lying and corrupt words before me, till the time has changed. Therefore, tell me the dream, and I shall know that you can give me its interpretation. Did you see that? And I shall know that, all right, you can give me the interpretation. How can I tell you the dream? All right. So there was a level of competence that these guys were able to develop through the art of work, commitment, and competency skills. They were able to build it. Remember the first part we read, Daniel chapter 1, verse 70. The word of God says that these guys were able to build skills and knowledge, all right, from the fact that they had read the literatures that were given to them, and God inspired them. All right, God inspired them as well. So you see, there's a God factor in becoming unstoppable. There's a God factor. There's a factor that has to do with character. Okay, when we talk about character, we're talking about the display of your innermost attributes. Okay, the value system that you carry. All right, the expression of them. A wise man once said that the true test of a man's character is not how well they can behave, how well they can comport themselves, how well they can sit down. It is usually determined or calculated by how well they can relate to situation, how well they can respond to situation when they really do not know what to do, when they really are stuck. That is how well to calculate it. So these are were all the characteristics that made up for the lifestyle of these amazing young men. They had God, they had character, they had competence, they had convictions, they had commitment, they were also compassionate. So these guys were at the top of the ladder, at the highest rung of the ladder because of the combination of these varying qualities. Okay? Because of the combination of these different qualities that they had, these different qualities that they had made them outstanding, was able to set them apart. Now, like I said from the inception, okay, we have read the Bible now, the God factor. Like I said from the inception, friends, that two persons can be given the same mandate, two persons can be given the same assignment, two persons can be given two things to do, the same thing to do, and then you see them going to work on them separately. Your mind is the portal through which your spirit communicates to the outer world. It is also the portal through which you receive, filter information, right? And then you are able to harness them to get the best result possible. But then how do you become unstoppable? You must begin to look at the combination of these different compartments of you. So if you are asked now, what are some of your key components? What are some of your key character traits? All right. What are some of your key character traits as an individual? Are you competent? Have you been able to develop discipline? All right. To stay put on the path of growth, on the path of learning? Have you been able to stay committed? All right. You cannot just be unstoppable. You cannot just be on fire like that. Fire cannot just fall from heaven and fall on you. You cannot just sow seed and say, I receive it. No, it does not work that way. You must be able to grow your mental capability so that you are able to achieve goals. So you cannot begin to see the reason people don't achieve their goals. This thing is not still clear. You cannot begin to see the reason people don't achieve their goals. It is usually as a result of the fact that they have not been able to build themselves in these different compartments, right? You don't have competence. You're not convinced about your conviction. You can easily be just thrown off balance at any given time. You are here, you are there. Do you see that? Right? You do not have commitment. You are not able to stay put. You pick up a book to read, you read a page or two, and then you have already given up, right? You have already given up on it. You have already given up on yourself. You have it's not even working. Okay? You have already given up on yourself. So that level of conviction, commitment, right? That level of commitment, conviction, compassion, courage, they are all necessary for work. They are necessary for what? You to take your transformation to the next level. All right? This unstoppable mindset is a framework that enables an individual to be able to overcome obstacles. Just imagine if Daniel and those three Hebrew young men never had the conviction about where they were coming from, never had competency, never had character. In fact, it was through character they were able to build competence. Character allowed them to stay put, even in the midst of other wrong people in the foreign land. They stayed put. So today we could begin to see that foreign land as our distractions. We could begin to see those foreign land as our distractions today. We're easily distracted. We throw in the towel and we say we are tired. I'm not sure this is meant for me. They remained committed despite the pressure to compromise. Many of you today, you love to compromise on your timing. You love to compromise on the things that matter to your destiny. You are always compromising. Procrastination is a compromise. Laziness is a compromise. Too much sleep is a compromise. Not praying enough is a compromise, right? But these guys refuse to compromise. They refuse to compromise, irrespective. A lot of times, people are good outwardly, but inwardly, in their house, when nobody can see them anymore, they are nothing but a cheat. Like, they are not even able to stand put or stay put to do the things that they preach. There's one of my video on this channel where I spoke about integrity. If you've watched that video, tell me integrity in the comment. I spoke about integrity. That integrity is the alignment of your character, your contribution, and your connection. So today, let's add the alignment of our character, our connection, our contribution, our conviction, our competence, our courage, our charisma, our commitment, our compassion. That's like 10 C's. The 10 C's to integrous living. Possible. Yes. We could begin to even call that a book or a short masterclass and really deconstruct them, right? So the unstoppable mindset is a framework. Remember, all of these different things I'm mentioning should be in that framework. If they are not there, go and check yourself. Go and carry out an assessment after this class. All right. Another thing that should be in that framework should be your growth mindset. Your growth mindset. I like you to type growth mindset in the comments. Your growth mindset. It should also be part of that conversation. Your ability to embrace challenges. Okay? Because if you do not like to embrace challenges, you are that kind of a person who loves to throw in the towel all the time, trust me, you will never grow. Your growth is always going to be stunted. You will not grow. All right? There must be growth mindset in that conversation to be able to have an unstoppable mindset. There has to also be positive affirmation. All right? In the Bible, we call this confession, right? Confessing and telling God what you want. Positive affirmation, because this thing is to encourage you. It is to encourage you, to stir you up. All right? There's this man I love so much in the Bible that says, I would always encourage myself in the Lord. Who can tell me his name? I encourage myself in the Lord. In the midst of the obstacles, the enemies, the trials, I encourage myself in the Lord. You can tell me his name, right? So he was a great encourager to himself. He wrote so many books, and at the same time, he wrote so many. Let me not break it down. Break it down. Tell me who the person is, right? So positive self-talk is beautiful. Have a board where you enlist out these positive words. All right, these positive words that you would always tell yourself. These positive words that you would always tell yourself. Right? That's him. His name is David, King David. So that has to be part of the circle of becoming an unstoppable personality. You see, Daniel and the three Hebrew guys were unstoppable. They were so unstoppable. I like to type that in the comments. They were so unstoppable. In the midst of chaos, they never left the components that made up their ability to remain unstoppable in the midst of trials. Even when they were told never to pray, Daniel prayed yet the more. He prayed yet the more, and he was thrown into the lion's den. How many of us can remember the story? He was thrown into the den. Don't pray, but he knew that that was a component that made up his ability, to remain steadfast. He said, no, 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 I'm not going to let go of this component. If I remove this component from the recipe, the food is not going to be complete. The food will not be sweet. My life will not be sweet. All right? My journey will not be sweet. I will not be able to transcend from where I am to the next level. All right? I will not be able to ascend the ladder of growth. Do you see that? So my recommendation today, the book I'm recommending in this Readers Publisher today, is the book of Daniel. Go and read the whole book of Daniel. That is the book I'm recommending for everyone today. All right? If you don't have a Bible, check the internet. You'll get the book of Daniel. or send me a DM. I could help you out. All right, just the book of Daniel. That's what I'm recommending today. So remove this God factor. Don't pray. Do not pray. All right, the word of God says he opened the window and kept on praying. It was then he even intensified the prayers. Let anything that want to happen happen. This component, I cannot remove it, otherwise I will become stoppable. You see, so those things that can make up your own recipe, it is not going to be the same for every one person 100%. All right, to say, oh, you have to have, everybody must have this or have that. No, you would have to collate your own recipe, but don't forget, the one recipe that cannot be removed from all of them is the God recipe. So you can decide to remove any other one, but you see God recipe, it has to be there. You see, so it didn't stop praying. For you to become an unstoppable person, you must have clear goals. Your goals has to be cleared. Setting your specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and time-bound goals has to be there. You must be focused. That is an unwavering commitment to work, an unwavering commitment to execution, an unwavering commitment to what is necessary. Focus. This is how you maintain concentration and attention despite the distractions of the now. You see, the times that we're in now is even become the truth is, if as at that time they had like 5 things in their recipe, this time around you should have up to about 10, because oh, it's still not clear, because now the distraction is becoming more intense. The distraction is becoming more what? Intense. It's becoming more intense by the day. And that's why we will not stop. We will not stop now. The kind of trainings that we need now has to be immersive. Has to be what? Immersive. And because it has to be immersive, we keep on putting in our best. We keep on doing the needful. Okay? We keep on doing the needful on a daily basis so that we can get better. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe. This is our weekend shows where we come on board to have conversation like this. Nothing is going to stop us, not even the internet. So the days like this that it is not clear, you just do audio. In as much as you can hear my voice, I think that's fine, isn't it? Are you guys okay with that? You're okay, just say I'm okay. Because it will not be fair that you cannot see me very well and it's really distracting. All right, it's better you hear my voice. All right. So friends, the next thing we have to look out for is adaptability, embracing change and adjusting your strategy as needed. Embracing change and adjusting your strategy as needed per time. Adjusting your strategy as needed per time. It's a game changer. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is self-awareness. If you want to become an unstoppable person, you must understand your thoughts on a daily basis, your emotions, your behavioral processes. You must be able to understand them. This is where it comes in handy that you are able to do your journaling on a daily basis. You are able to keep a beautiful journal on a daily basis. All right. There has to be journaling. Journaling, friends. There has to be journaling. All right. This is how you get to unravel your thoughts process, your emotions, your behaviors. All right. These are necessary for the man who wants to be unstoppable. How many of you know that if you have ever procrastinated before, if you have ever shown any sign of laziness, if you have ever shown any sign of I will do it tomorrow, any sign of complaint, negativity, it is because your mindset has become stunted. You need to go back and reassess it after this class. Reassess your mindset and ask yourself, what has been stopping me? What are the sabotages that have been stopping me? What sort of practices, what sort of components should I begin to put together? Recipes do I need to begin to put together so that I'm able to actualize the life of my dream, as Coach Faith has rightly illustrated in this class? Do you see that now? What do I need to begin to put together? She has spoken about the life of Daniel and the three young men. And the three young men that were held captive by the Babylonians. What did I really need? Now, if you are not in your current environment, for example, it is possible that something must have taken you out of your current space to another space. Sometimes when you look at that thing, it can be Babylonian in nature. Yes, it can be Babylonian in nature to say that it can be something really flashy, beautiful. I don't like to be in this environment. I don't like to eat this kind of food. I don't like to do this. There's nothing bad in all of that. There's nothing bad in even, trying to jackpot and leave your current environment. There's nothing bad in that. Where it becomes a problem is that you get to that place that looks like a beautiful city, a beautiful environment, a beautiful gadget, a beautiful setup, and then you become carried away. You no longer maintain your conviction, your commitment, your character, your God factor. You let go of those things. You play with them. At the end of the day, what's going to happen? That individual is going to be stunted, especially as it has to do with purpose. The unstoppable man, the unstoppable mindset is someone who understands these different compartments and they are able to utilize them to the best of their assignment. They are able to get results. All right. So putting all of these different compartments together, it's going to help you. You have to be able to leverage your mental capacity. You have to be able to do it. This is mental toughness. This is embracing failure. This is staying accountable. This is celebrating your progress. This is becoming a better individual. So, what are some of the benefits? This is what we're going to round up for today. What are some of the benefits of adopting an unstoppable mindset? Okay, what will you benefit when you adopt an unstoppable mindset? The first thing you're going to benefit is that you'll be able to achieve your goals. You will be able to achieve your goals. I'd like you to type that in the comment. All right, type it in the comment. You will be able to achieve your goals. Okay, you will be able to what? Achieve your goals. When you adopt the unstoppable mindset, you'll be able to what? Reach your goals. You'll be able to achieve it. You'll be able to increase your efficiency. You'll be able to what? Increase your effectiveness. All right. You'll be able to increase your what? Effectiveness when you adopt the unstoppable mindset. You build confidence. You will build what? Confidence in what is working and what is not working. You would have an unwavering self-efficacy, self-assurance, believe that I can do this thing. Okay? That is what it means to adopt this mindset. So adopting this mindset means that I'm ready from what all the things that Coach Trade has said. I am ready to begin to practice as little as possible. All right. And as you begin to practice, just imagine before Daniel and the other Hebrew guys were thrown into the furnace, right? The furnace the other time. All right. If you know their story very well, when they were thrown into the furnace, before that happened, before that happened, all right, before Daniel was thrown into the what's it called? Before Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, right? Before he was thrown into the lion's den, you know what happened, right? You know what happened to them, to him. It did not stop his conviction. There were so many threats that came. They were going to be killed as part of the wise men in the city. And then he went back and inquired of God, and God told him how to approach the king, and he interpreted the king's dream, told the king his dream and interpreted it, and then they were delivered. Different level of temptations were coming from left, right, and center. But one thing is sure, and one thing was certain, is that once they were able to achieve the first phase of their growth, they were able to ascend to another level. If you have followed my class on self-efficacy again and again, you hear where I spoke so much around the fact that it is important you understand that self-efficacy is something you build over time. Self-efficacy, by the time you build again and again, and you are achieving your result, it will now lead to a higher degree of confidence, proficiency skill, and then you'll be able to attest to the fact that you are growing. So, one of the benefits of adopting this mindset that is unstoppable is that it is going to help you develop an unwavering assurance that I can do this. You'll be able to overcome obstacles. You'll be able to navigate your challenges with ease and resilience. It will improve your mental well-being. A lot of people are sick today mentally. They are sick mentally. It is going to what improve your overall mental health and happiness. And most of all, you fulfill purpose. You're able to what unlock your hidden potentials, your abilities, purpose discovery and fulfillment. A whole lot of these things will be thrown at you on a platter because you have decided to adopt a mindset that is unstoppable. All right, adopting it starts from today. Pick one aspect of those different components that you have spoken about and say, I'm ready to look back into my foundation, look into my God factor. How have I been loving God? How have I been serving my God? I want to retrace my step. I want to be able to do the needful. All right. And then we look at, oh, your focus now, setting clear goals, your self-awareness, your adaptability, your positivity, your commitment, your conviction. All right, your conviction, your competence, your character. All right. A lot of people have issues with their character. They cannot even live an authentic life. It is a problem. It is a challenge. They find it very difficult to live an authentic life. They are not compassionate. They do not love people. All right. They do not love, they find it very difficult to love people because it is a challenge. This is how you leverage what? Your mental power to achieve your goals. This is how you leverage mental power what? To achieve your goals. So begin to look at your components. Whenever you struggle to achieve a particular result, ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need right now to be added to this component, to this framework that I am building? Every individual, based on our purpose and assignment, we have different framework. If you can see me talk about this and scream at the top of my voice, based on our purpose and assignment, there are frameworks that are required. That could just be that mine is about 10, yours is 10, but two out of the component that are on my own is just shifted your own quite well. All right, but there are some foundational components that you don't neglect. Okay, like most of them I have mentioned right now. Your commitment, your competence, your conviction, your God factor, your character. These are all components that would allow a man to be able to leverage their mental capacity for goal achievement, for goal actualization. So if you've been struggling to achieve your goals, you'll be struggling to become a better personality. All right, you'll be struggling to achieve your personality. You'll be struggling to achieve your personality. It is the time right now for you to what? Wake up. All right. This framework is called what we call mindset. The setting of your mind. There is a configuration. There is an algorithmic structure that makes up the compartment of your mind. Okay, that make up the compartment of your mind. So for me, on that ladder, all right, possibly, possibly charisma will be at the toppest of the toppest, or competence will be number three, or self-awareness has to be number two. And beyond just purpose, it also has to do with your growth, how you ascend this ladder, how you ascend it. God factor, character, they stand out for every one person. All right, commitment, discipline. Of course, when you are committed and you are disciplined, sometimes when you're at a certain level, it will look as though you are still struggling. Yes, especially when it comes to reading a book. Let me put it in vivid illustration. Maybe you want to read a book You pick up a book to read for the past 1 month, you've not been able to complete that book, right? There is maybe at that level you're trying to build the component of commitment, the component of enthusiasm, the component of loving yourself enough to do the work. Maybe that's what you are trying to build at that lowest rung of the ladder. But there comes a time, it's almost like, when trailer face break. You've ever seen a trailer before? A trailer, this big vehicles that conveys heavy goods, right? You've ever seen it before. All right. So when you are starting at, you may be very slow. People may be seeing you that you are slow. You may even see yourself as slow. But as you build the momentum, there comes a time you become irresistible. You become unstoppable. How do you not climax to that mindset that becomes unstoppable? It is not a one-day thing, my friend. It starts from now. Becoming deliberate. Sometimes you need to join a community where that reality is their norm. That thing you're praying for, that thing you're struggling to have, it is their norm. You have been struggling to read. Maybe you just have to become a member, a bona fide member of the system, of the book club membership. With that, you will just receive the anointing. The fire will just fall on you. All right? Because you are seeing people who are reading the same way, who are going the same journey, and you are like, okay, let me be in their midst. It may not rub off for me immediately, but the truth is, if you are a billionaire and you have, if you're not a billionaire, you stay in the midst of 5 billionaires, you are going to become the sixth person. If you are not a reader, you stay in a community where people are reading, you are going to become a reader very soon. But the thing is, for that mindset to be built, that unstoppable mindset that lasts for execution, that lasts for work, that lasts for result, for it to be built, you must, there has to be a time where you are committed to doing the work as little as possible, when you are committed to putting all the different components together that your life needs to move to the next level. I hope you're getting the gist. That your life needs to what? Move to the next level. You have to build it from time to time. Okay? So that is it. Who wants to become unstoppable? Do you want to leverage your mental power? You want to leverage your framework? Go and do the mindset work this night. Go and introspect. Go and do the assignment. Go and ask yourself, what are the components? What do I need? All right. Coach Faith has mentioned more than 10 different components. Maybe you just have to pick out 3, 4, 5, and then you start practicing, you start doing the work. Sooner or later, you're going to see yourself become a better person. Thank you so much, friends, for coming on board to be part of what's going on here. This is the community where we're intentional about our growth. We are ready for execution. We're doing the work, we're growing, and we are making impact. There's no one person that will stay in this community for 3 years without making impact. Impact is in our DNA. And for that reason, friends, we're hosting another reading challenge for the year. This will be our third installment for the year 2024. If you'd like to participate in our upcoming 14 days reading challenge, this will be our 30th edition. Do well to join. I'm sharing the link all over the community now, so just look out for it and join. There's also a link here if you would also want to work with me one-on-one for the RED framework, Reading for Execution Blueprint, where I work with you 5 days one-on-one for us to have a conversation around your personal transformation and how you can really unravel with a deep sense of clarity to be able to move from here to the next level. And then we also have a link for those of you that would want to maybe have a conversation on clarity issue, just on life issues generally, for 15 minutes, right? Then there's also a link to the Telegram community. Do well to join us. Our next program will be held on Monday at BMM, Book Motivation Monday. Do well to show up to be part of their conversation. All right, so one final thought I want to share with you is that when you know how a thing works, it works better. Right? I like you to type that in your notes. When you know how a thing works, it works better. If you've never learned algebra, even when you are 100, you still don't know it. If you've never learned how to make a goosey soup, or you've never learned how to do a particular thing, a particular skill before, I'd like you to know that when you learn, your life is going to get better. When we read this hour says, The book of Daniel, chapter 1, verse 17, King James translation says that these guys read literatures that were given to them by the Chaldeans, by the Babylonians. They read those books, they read them, and because they had the right foundation, they had an unstoppable mindset, they were able to gain skills and knowledge. So if you think you're in the reading community and you're still running for pillar to post, you're asking yourself, should I not? I want you to know that you can really glean ideas and experiences from books. You can glean skills and knowledge from books with the right foundation, with the right setting of a framework of mind, right? You can come up higher. You can build capacity for your next level. You can have skills, deplorable skills that you can market in the times that we're in through the connected economy. You can have such opportunity. Yes, friends, you can have such opportunity if you can leverage what it means to have a mental capacity that is necessary for the next level. So go ahead and read the book of Daniel. That's the book I'm recommending today. It's going to bless your heart. All right. Knowing fully well that you are an unstoppable species. You can do it, friends. If I can do it, you can do it. I'll see you in our next week's show. Do well to show up before then. Make sure you look out for other programs that we have in the system. Join the Telegram community. That's where we get to have first-hand announcement even before our community on Facebook. Do have a lovely weekend and night rest. Bye. Bye for now.